Hello, hello everyone. Welcome to our webinar today. Please send us on the chat how you're feeling today, where are you talking from? We want to know more about you. Before we start, we have a minute and a half left before we start, okay? You can talk to us in the chat. We want to hear a little bit more about you. If you don't talk to me, I will start calling your names. I don't want to do that. Okay. Hi, David. Thank you for asking. Awesome. Okay. I don't know where are you from, but here in Brazil, especially in Curitiba, where I'm talking from, and also Victor, it's super, super cold today. So when we woke up, it was like -2 degrees. And for us, that's a lot. So we promise we are going to have a warm presentation because we don't like the cold weather here. Hi, Dale. Thanks for answering. Awesome. So let's start. Well, as you know, today we are going to talk about game changer integration, Pipefy, between Google Workspace, especially Google Sheets, Google Docs, and Google Calendar. So important questions before we start. If you have any question, please send them through the Q&A button that we have here below. In case we have any issue with audio, video, let us know using the chat, okay? And the webinar will be recorded and we are going to send to you all later through email, okay? So I'm Bruna. I'm customer success marketing here at Pipefy, and I'm gonna be your host today, but I'm not here alone.
Hello, everyone. It's really nice to meet you. So my name is Victor from the expansion team here at Pipefy. So I'm going to be also your host for this evening, and I will be also speaking about our integrations. Okay. So to start, Bruna has just a few questions for you. So just to start, Bruna.
Yes, we have actually two questions. It's super simple, just yes or no questions. So do you already use an Pipefy integration, or and is integration with Google Apps a deal breaker for your operation right now? Or if you're here just for listening, what we have to teach you. So please let us know. Just a few more seconds. We want to know more about which type of integration you're looking for and if it's necessary or not in this right moment. Okay, just a few more seconds. And that's it. Thank you, everyone. We can move.
So let's move forward, team. So just to start, I'm going to explain why we are talking about Google Workspace integrated with Pipefy. So we brought out three main topics for that because we know Pipefy is a great orchestrator of our processes, of our operation, and when we started to raise the bar, raise the level of complexity of our process, we just bump into those softwares like those apps where we can connect everyone within the organization. So with a Google Sheet or even a folder in Drive, or even if an invite in our Google Calendar. So we saw that opportunity that we can leverage those Google apps to increase our productivity. We can link information between those two platforms, Pipefy and let's say Pipefy and Google Workspace, and we wanted to ensure that everyone has a better experience for everyone, like right, for our users, for the operations, even the stakeholders of our process. So thinking of that, we brought this webinar for you. Okay, so and how does like this reflects on practice? We always like to bring this slide, which who help with our company digitalization, right? So we have some informations that 25% of sales ops and 37% of customer service ops teams, they have no access to engineers or developers to support them. So we know that sometimes we always talked about digital transformation and just how we're going to enhance our process through digitalization or through softwares and so on. And most of the time, it's hard to find our IT team or just talk to some developer that can help us go through it. And what is really important is that it's not only for the business departments itself, but also for the IT team that things are getting complicated because 72% of IT leaders say that project backlogs prevent them from working on strategic projects. So imagine we have our IT team with a bunch of requests from even an onboarding and having just the basic of the IT, and from complex projects, developing new information or just new features and so on. So this is something that we are on and we are trying to change that, right? And how can we leverage our process? So, for those who still don't know, Pipefy has an integrator, official partner from Pipefy that allow us integrate with Google Apps. Not only Google Apps, but on this webinar especially, we will talk about Google Apps. Okay. So we're going to cover the three main apps that our customers and also our requests are from. So from Google Drive, Google Calendar, and also Google Sheets. So I'm going to present those three. And before we move on to just the showcase of the integration, I would just like to talk a little bit in practice. How does this reflects on our departments? And we brought here four examples. So we have here four departments. So if your department is not here, it's okay because it's just to showcase. Okay. So for the operations department, we can integrate with our scheduling process, our back office process, even our support process, which is really important, um, or legal department where we can have our signing contracts in a drive. We can schedule new meetings for documents and control our process in the legal area. From the HR team, I think hiring process is one of the most wanted for this integration, where we can schedule all of our interviews directly with this integration. All of the documents that the new candidates or the new hirings when enter our company, we just upload them into a folder inside Google Drive automatically. And interview process, I said that also. And for our sales process, the qualification, the sales process, the onboarding, so everything connects to what we're bringing here, which is the Google Workspace integration, right? And just digging a little bit more deeper just on those departments. So the benefits of from for the operation departments, where we can increase efficiency in information registration, we can improve the control of activities, we can ensure the execution of all of the tasks. So we know that once we have two different platforms, let's say Pipefy and a Google Drive, uh, we think that it's easy to just copy and paste, just transfer the documents from one platform to another, but we know that in real life we have meetings, we have like the rush of the hour, and sometimes things just get lost, right? Or we just forget sometimes. And the idea is to prevent that from happening. For the legal, we can improve the process monitoring, we can reduce time in work management, and can reduce the cost hour of our employees. Let's say that, because if we need every time a new, let's say a new candidate is hired to do a work in two, the same work in two different platforms, we know that if we multiply that by 10, 15, 50 employees, the time spent is much bigger, right? Once we go to the HR, so the fast scheduling interviews with candidates, we can increase productivity, collecting necessary documents. We can also reduce task execution time. And just for the sales department, we have flexibility in scheduling meetings. We can also reduce the scheduling errors and the agenda control of our reps or STRs and so on. Awesome. Cool. So this first part of the webinar was just to give you a little context, and now we're going to do a hands-on. So I'm going to show our integrations. We've built just some examples, some simple examples. Then I'm going to show how it works in real time. Okay. So I will start by using our integration of Google Drive and also Calendar. In here, I have our organization, so Pipefy webinar, and I'm going to enter our employee onboarding process. Once again, we're using employee onboarding, but just trying to imagine your process with it. So in each step, or in what step we can integrate, or in what step we can enhance this part of the process for you. Cool. So here we have the employee onboarding, where I will start. Just we have a new hiring. So I'm going to hire myself today because I'm a really good employee. Let me
Yes, you are.
so I'm just going to fill out the information. I will start my onboarding. So once I start my onboarding, we have our pre-arrival phase. And on the pre-arrival phase, so let's say I'm an HR analyst. I'm going to schedule the first day meeting, the meeting with the team. I'm going to schedule the digital workplace setup and so on. So we have here all the informations. And once I select here the date and hour for the meeting with the team, I'm going to select right here. So let's say 9 a.m. tomorrow, ending also tomorrow at 10. Let me just grab here. And once I update those fields, I can go to my calendar. So if I click here on my agenda, I have here meeting with the team, right? So already scheduled. And if I have here also, I have meeting with the team, with the other candidate, and we have everything connected to our calendar. So I can have those invites sent. I can send and copy, let's say, a different description. I can send and copy our manager. I can send this invite and send other information to our peers. So this is automatically we can trigger that this integration either with card movements on our automation right here. Every time a card was updated, I updated it and I send it the invite. In the same way goes to if I delete the event, I will delete the card. If I update the card, I will update the event of the calendar. Okay. And just moving on in our process, let's say I go to the documentation phase right now. And once I move to the documentation phase, I will just select a new file for NDA. I will just select. So it can be one or a batch of documents that we are collecting from our stakeholders or just for our hirings. And once I move this card or just update this card, I will go to my drive right here and I already have here a folder with my name on it, and I have here the document that was attached. So this was automatically. We always like to say that it all happens behind the curtains. So Pipefy team will implement this integration. We will create this integration, and once it's set, it will happen automatically. And from also the Google Drive, it's really important that we create folders with my name on it because I was the candidate selected. But we can standardize the folder names for, let's say, a supplier. We can standardize a folder for areas, and we can do this integration, creating a folder, or just by finding a folder with a specific name and attaching documents in it. So we have a lot of possibilities. Cool.
Yes, and if you have any question during the Victor's presentation, you can please send to us in the Q&A here below. Okay, so don't feel shame. It's a safe space. You can ask whatever you
Yes,
want. Okay.
of course, exactly. So just moving on from the process, like after we got the documentation, we would just go through first day, first week, first month, and then our employee will be onboarded into our company. And also when he finish, we can save all of the documents, all of the attachments in one place. We can save all of the attachments in just one folder, and so on and so forth. So the idea of the calendar and the drive that I showed you is just to simplify that. Why do it manually when we can do it automatically, right? Like we have those options, and with these steps, we can easily gain more productivity and also reduce time. If I had to, every time a candidate selected, I will have to go to Drive, open a new folder. I will have to select all the attachments from the card. Some attachments are in a different style format and so on. So this will help to reduce that. Okay. And now for our Google Sheet integration that I'm going to show you, it's actually will be more iterative for me. I'm going to need your help. Actually, I'm going to share a public link here on our chat. So we have here performance evaluation, and I'm just going to copy right here and I'm going to share on our chat. So if you want to add your information, its name, company, and also an observation. If you just want to say something to us, just so I can present that, I'm going to open the chat right now. Let me just go here, and we have our link. So if you just open and just create a new card, it's really easy. I'm going to give 1 minute so we can have cards open in my pipe.
Awesome.
Let me just check right here.
We just received a question in our chat, so please, if you could just send again, please, on a Q&A so we have the track of all questions that we received and we can receive one at a time, okay?
Awesome.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Cool. So we already have two new cards. So three now. And once I open my webinar sheet, I have here. So Hickey, Victor, Lisa, Oscar. So we can have all the informations that are entering our pipe. They are entering our sheet as well. So this is automatically. And Lisa, we're happy that this will save so much time. We're really glad because we use here in Pipefy and it helped us a lot. So this is obviously a really basic example of integration. So we are just filling out and adding more rows to our Google Sheet, but the possibilities are enormous here with this integration. We have a lot of clients that they standardize a sheet. We can create once they create new cards, we add a row, and with since they have a lot of numeric fields, they standardize the formulas on a specific sheet. And once we create a card, we create a new row. And once we got those numbers on this sheet, we can do math. So like have math inside, like have formulas. So we can do all kinds of formulas in the sheet. And once we create those formulas and we update those formulas with the information on the card, we can update the card again with the sum or just a division or just a formula. So like the math itself in the card. So we have a lot of possibilities inside this platform. Okay, so of course, this is a basic example. And once we do that, we're just making sure that all the columns have the right format of the fields, but that it's simple as that. I will just create a new card and then a row will be automatically created. And the same thing goes to every time I update a row or I update a card, I will update the information that we got. Okay. So let me just go back to the presentation. And now we have one more question for you.
Yes, just one super quick. It's after watching this webinar, are you interested in integrating any specific process with a Google app? So just yes or no, if you're interested or not, if it is something that could change your routine, save time, please send to us. We are going to wait a few more seconds and then we are going to move on. Just
Awesome.
3 more% left. Okay, thank you.
Awesome.
Great.
Cool.
So Q&A time.
Yeah. Now we reserve like time just to get all of the questions because I think it's more important so we can solve the questions. So I won't be like showing just random stuff for you. So it's really important so we can have like all the questions so we can solve it and be very specific about it. Cool.
Awesome. We have a question here that says, uh, he's sorry because he joined a little bit late. Don't worry about that. And is there any way where we can sync all the docs in an existing cardboard to Drive?
Yes, we can. Not in not all of the attachments like directly from a pipe itself, but we can send all the attachments of the cards to a folder in Google Drive. So we can separate in folders, or we can just add all of the attachments that we finished to one specific drive. So it is possible.
Okay, Lisa asked, with meetings, do you have to have the start and end time in the pipe? Can due dates show on the Google Calendar?
Okay. So the first question, we do not need to have the start and end time. So we can set, let's say, every time a new meeting is created from this integration, it will last, it's a 30-minute meeting or it's just a 1 hour meeting. So it's up to you. And the second one about the due dates, we can do that. Like I don't know how you pretend, like how you're thinking about showing those due dates, but we can do something like that. Every time we upload a due date, we will send this event or just this invite to the calendar. So we will create the due date event on your calendar. So we can do that.
Okay, Victor, we have one person asking to go over through the meeting schedule again. So if you could share, we have time. So if you could share your
Yes.
screen again. And
Awesome.
also the same person asked, will this allow to share multiple calendars?
Okay, so I'm just go through the question first. Um, we will send to multiple calendars. Like once we set integration, one person will be like the Google account master on integration, but we can send those invites to different calendars. If we select, let's say, two emails, we have two guests or two different persons to be sent the same invite, we can do that. So we can send it and there is no problem to do that. And let me just show that we have our recipe right here. I'm going to show our Google Calendar right where it is. Here, Google Calendar. I'm just going to start again. And this, it's our integrations page where you can have a recipe. So it's basically like our automation. We have a trigger and we have an action. So every time a card is updated, we will get the card ID and we'll create a new Google Calendar event. So the logic is the same of our automations. We have a trigger and then we have an action. So let me just go back here to the employee onboarding. I'm going to get here the, let me just create a new card. And now
We have a question while you're updating the information. Do the triggers count against the numbers of automation?
that is a great question. They don't, because since we have our integrations package, our integration jobs, they are separate from our automation jobs. So they are two different things. So we charge by, we have our integrations plan as well as we have our automation jobs package. So they are two different things. So we have here again, Victor Tesaro. I will just select here the meeting with the team. Let me just go to Friday, 12 a.m. No, let me just select 10 a.m. So I updated the field meeting with the team, and here I will select. I got the 12 a.m. so I created here. So this meeting is for integration purposes. Everyone on the invite should be present. So I have here and how it created at our 10 a.m. field. So I can have here 30 minutes before I have the owner of the invite, and we can also add locations, links, and so on. So this is how it goes.
Perfect. We have another question related to Zapier. Are those integrations somehow related with Zapier or with the native integration system of Pipefy?
Okay, so we do not use Zapier. They are not related with Zapier. We use our partner called Workato, so it's our official integrator. Um, the the logic, it happens just like Zapier, like we have triggers and actions and we select. So it's basically a no code iPass, but we use Orcado, which is a different one. And it does not relate with native integration. So the purpose of these integrations is just because we do not have native integrations yet. So we are using this to solve this issue. And business plan subscriptions are not able to use it for now. Only enterprise users.
Great. And Lisa asked, what does it take to add this integration? So
Cool.
I'm going to send here in the chat a link where you can ask for uh, uh, how your process could work within our integration, and how much this would cost. So you can ask for this feasibility here with us. Okay.
Cool. And just to complement Bruna, this link you get like a viability document from us, and you just have to fill out which software, your workflow. So like I want every time a card move to a phase to another, I want to add I want to send an invite on a calendar, or I just want to add a new row on my spreadsheet. and our team, our technical team, will just get this request, and they will just build, let's say, an MVP, just like a viability on how we're going to do that and how it will happen, and then we will suggest a plan because our plans are based on task and usability, not just closed plans. So this is why it's really important to get the viability first.
Okay. Another person asked, we just recently bought Pipefy for our support desk. Does it integrate with projectmanager.com?
I don't know because we have this list of softwares, but I will go after that because this software we know already, and we just want to ask my technical team. So if you can send an email to us just later on, just to make sure that we don't forget, and I will reply it as soon as I can.
Yes, you can ask click on the link that I sent and ask for that.
Yes, exactly.
And another question, you mentioned several integration with Google. Is there a way to create workspace users based on the input in the onboarding card?
Okay. So from workspace users, do you mean workspace users to Google? Just to make sure. I understood that it's workplace users for Google, and unfortunately, we cannot reach this kind of complexity of creating users based on the input of the onboarding card. What can we do is just to create like folders, we can create events and so on, but workspace users we cannot yet. So but I will make sure that I will send this feedback for our team.
Great.
Awesome.
Do we have any more questions? Please, this is a time for us to reply and to solve
Yes.
all your questions. Okay. Victor, if you could come back to again to the presentation so we can share again not only the link, but we have this QR code
Of
if you prefer
course.
to send and ask the availability for us through the QR code. So we can share and understand first which software you want to integrate and how much that would cost because it depends of how much you gonna need that and how your integration is going um, to work within the other software and not only Pipefy. So we have a lot of variants. So that's why. And okay, so
We
if we don't have any more questions, oh, we have.
yes. The first one, so if we have recorded, yes, we are recording this call and we will share with you. But also we have in our sales team, also a CS team, we have some videos that show specific integrations, or you just can present that to you. So feel free to reach us out or your CSM and or just our support and ask for more information. But we can provide the recording also, and if we have planned integration with Microsoft SharePoint or lists, and we do have an integration with SharePoint. So we can do that with SharePoint, we have OneDrive, we have Outlook. So the Microsoft softwares, they are still valid. So everything that we showed here with Google Apps, we can also duplicate this with our Microsoft apps as well.
Maybe another question that we received is if we offer professional service to assist with best practice for configuration and how much are talking?
Cool. So we do offer the professional services. I will ask just for you to send me an email, and I'm going to just leave it on the chat, just requesting for that because I do not have the information about the plan and this because of the webinar. I'm going just to send my email, and you can ask me, and I can go through all the details. So for everyone, anyone who needs also my email, they are on the chat. Awesome.
Perfect. Okay.
Cool.
Any questions left? No. Okay, so that said, I want to invite you all for our next webinar because we're still going to try to continue talking about integrations and how it could help a lot you to save much time of your processes and your team. And we are going to talk about the integration between Pipefy and Messages app. So I'm gonna send you here in the chat the link that you could subscribe to our next webinar. Okay. And we are anxious about it. And Victor is preparing this cool moment that we are going to ask for you to interact with us. So it's cool. If you could participate, we are more than happy.
Yes.
I think that's it. Do we
That's
have anything
it.
left? No. So if we don't have any more questions, we're going to end a little bit early. Do we have any more questions? One, two, three. No? Okay.
That's it.
So thank you everyone. Thank you for saving your time to hear us here today. And thank you, Victor. It's awesome to have your knowledge shared here with us.
Thank you, everyone. It was a pleasure to be here with you, and we are waiting for you in the next session. So
Yeah.
we are always trying to get better and bring more content, more information, and just to make sure that we are helping you in any way that is possible.
Awesome. Thank you everyone. Bye
Thank you,
bye.
everyone. Have a great day.